All right, good morning, Monarchs. This is going to be the video for lesson 1.3, multiplying and dividing real numbers. Okay, we're multiplying and dividing real numbers. So remember, real numbers are any numbers that can be represented on a number line. They can be fractions, they can be whole numbers, they can be positive, they can be negative. Basically, any number that can be represented on a number line is a real number. Okay, so we have some rules at the top here that we're going to go over quickly. It says when multiplying or dividing real numbers, the signs of the numbers will determine whether or not the solution will be positive or negative. So we're going to talk about the signs of the numbers. And when I say signs of the numbers, that means whether they're positive or negative, okay? So I'm going to write that above it just so we know. I'm going to write positive or negative. Okay. All right, so our list of rules at the top. So multiplying and dividing numbers with the same sign, all right? So if two numbers have the same sign, their product will be positive and their quotient will be positive. So if we have two positive numbers, two positives always make a positive, okay? Two positives always make a positive. Same sign means positive. Two negatives always make a positive too. A negative times a negative always makes a positive, okay? Negative times a negative always makes a positive. Multiplying and dividing numbers with different signs. If two numbers have different signs, so if there's one positive number and one negative number, their product or quotient will be negative. So different signs means negative, okay? Different signs means negative. Same signs means positive, okay? And then there's some other random rules. Multiplication by zero, any number multiplied by a zero is going to be zero. Okay, so any number multiplied by zero is zero. It could be 1,200,063 times zero, still going to be zero. Okay, zero divided by any non-number is zero. Okay, zero divided by any non-zero number is zero. So zero divided by 7, zero divided by 5, that's always going to be zero. Okay. And then dividing by zero, we will never divide by zero. I like to say, thou shalt not divide by zero. We can never do that. It's always going to be undefined, okay? Always going to be undefined. And that's just because we cannot divide any number by zero. It's just a rule. It's always going to be undefined. You cannot divide by zero, okay? So moving on, it says, when looking at it on a number line, you can think of it as repeated addition. And we're talking about multiplication. When looking at it on a number line, you can think of it as repeated addition. When you look at the number line below, you can see that there are 3 jumps of 4 spaces for each jump. So this would be 3 times 4, okay? So there would be 3 spaces, 3 jumps of 4 spaces for each jump. Okay, you can see that. So 3 times 4, right? Our first jump, we went 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 right here, right? That's 1. Our second one is right here. That's our third jump. Is right here. And each one was 4 spaces. So we went 4, then we went 4 more, then we went 4 more. We ended up on 12. So we basically added the number 4 3 times. Multiplication is just repeated addition. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12. All right. When multiplying numbers with different signs, the solution would be negative and would move to the left on the number line. So we're moving to the left on the number line if the signs are different. Okay. Moving to the left on the number line. Okay. So just like we did before, on this one here, we went to the right. We started at 0 and went to the positive numbers. Here we did the same thing. We made 3 jumps of 4 spaces, but since our signs are different, it's a positive 3 and a negative 4. We have different signs. We went to the left because we know our answer is going to be negative because we have different signs. Okay. So the biggest thing with this is same sign, you're going to be positive, different signs are going to be negative. Okay. Even if you have 2 negatives, remember 2 negatives make a positive always. Same signs are always going to be positive. Different signs are always going to be negative. And then when we think of multiplication, it's just repeated addition. And then division is kind of undoing that repeated addition. Okay. So the next video will be me going through these examples on the bottom.